So this video I want to focus more on the core nix concepts, right? I've passed through these sections here, attribute set and so on, until functions. So functions has a separate section, right? So let's take an overview here. Functions are everywhere in the Nix language and deserve particular attention. A function always takes exactly one argument, and argument and function body are separated by a column. So let's see here. I prefer, rather than creating multiple nix files, using org file, right? And if I need, I have a terminal here. So wherever you find a column in Nix language code, on its left is the function argument. On its right is the function body. Function arguments are the third way apart from attribute sets. Apart from attribute sets and let expressions to assign names to values. So okay. Notably, values are not known in advance. The names are placeholders that are filled when calling a function. Functions declarations in the Nix language can appear in different forms. Each of them is explained in the following, and here's an overview. Single argument: x colon x plus y, x plus 1. Multiple arguments via nesting, x and y. Attribute set argument. So I can have multiple arguments like that, and an attribute set with the full attributes a, b, 0, a plus b, with additional attributes allowed. Additional attributes, named attribute set argument. So he's calling the arguments args, so args plus c, or is the same, putting before and after, right? Functions have no names. We say they are anonymous and call such a function a lambda. X colon x plus 1, and the value is lambda. The lambda indicates the resulting value is an anonymous function. As with any other value, functions can be assigned to a name. Example: let f x colon x plus 1 in f. So it's returning this function, right? Calling functions, also known as function application. Calling a function with an argument means writing the arguments after the function. So how do we it's calling like that, right? I know what it means now. So let's test this. It having let's statement. Here I'm gonna paste this. So if I do this, I think it will return lambda, right? So what am I doing here? I'm executing nix instantiate strict and eval flags in this code block here. So if I save this, go to config, here I have as a code block that represents nix org mode code block output support. So under oh my why his two two semicolons is the beginning, one is for after the statement. So here on the hood, what I'm really executing in the code block evaluation is this eval strict the string of path, the path of the file, and that's it. So nix shell won't work, right? Only things like this. So I'm defining a lambda function here called f, and down here I can just paste it and call after that with some value. Let's try this. It prints 2, now it's printing 4, right? Is the number plus 1. So let's see. Before here I have some functions syntax, right? If let's continue here. Calling functions here. This example we are already tested. So here now it's another example of calling a function with some arguments inside. Here he calls an attribute set, right? So let's test this. Let's call a function, lambda function, with an attribute set as an argument, right? Let's see here. So let's back. I've paused the video, the recording. The above example calls f of a literal attribute set. One can also pass arguments by name. copy this, paste it, and here what's doing is giving as parameter this attribute set for f, for the f function that's defined here above, and it's receiving an x value, ax value, and in x, oh my god, ax attribute set, and then it's accessing the attribute a in this attribute set. So he's calling this thing here, all this thing x, and x plus a, right? 1. Let's continue here. Since function and arguments are separated by white space, function and argument here. Here is another example, right? Since function and argument is separated by white space, sometimes parentheses are required to achieve this desired result. Right? So let's paste it here, and then the result is 1. Like it's just giving v to f, and v is another attribute set. Okay. Since okay, example, x attribute set uses x. It's an attribute? No, it's a function, right? I don't know really how to call it. Like here, the lambda indicates an result. Functions have no name. Is called such a function. It's a lambda, right? Okay. Lambda is basically indicated by the column, right? So it's a lambda that receives x. That's the argument, and adds 1, and it's called by giving the 1 as argument. That's x, and giving 2, right? Let's first copy, paste some code blocks here. Copy this function here. It's defining a lambda, I don't know, a lambda anonymous inline function, right? In parentheses. Since function and argument are separated by a white space, sometimes parentheses are required to achieve the desired result. So it's defining the function here without giving any letter and name, and it will print 2. Example, list elements are also separated by white space. Therefore, the following are different. So, list elements. What do you mean here? List elements. It's a list that's calling f and giving a. Okay. List elements are also separated by white space. Here and here too is a white space. So here I'm gonna paste this and evaluate. That gives 2, right? A list of results. May I do this instead of 1, give it 2, giving 2. so it's legal. I can call multiple times f, giving some argument and storing this in this list, right? All in place. It's really cool, right? Let f. So here is not giving the result because it's only the definition here, right? It's only giving the values. It's a lambda and one, but if I want to call it, I need to surround with parentheses, because here is white space separated, here is white space separated, and the compiler will be confused, right? The first example reads apply f to a and put it into a list, the result in a list. Apply f to a. Okay, apply f to a. The resulting list has one element. The second example reads put f and a in a list. Okay. In parentheses applying, and without is just put in the list. Multiple arguments, also known as curried functions. Nix functions take exactly one argument. Multiple arguments can be handled by nested functions. So such a nested function can be used like a function that takes multiple arguments but offers additional flexibility. The above functions is equivalent to x that calls y that calls x plus y. Okay. Remember that here, I don't really know. I think x here is just a placeholder, and y too. X and y need to be existing in the let scope or another scope. Name that's named attribute here, I think. So it need this name as an attribute, and x assigned 1 and 1 is assigned to x and 2 is assigned to y, but the first two x and y I think is just aliases. So let's see here. Here. So this function takes one argument and returns another function y colon x plus y, with x set to the value of that argument. Oh, I catch it. Okay. So 1 is x, right? So I don't know. Applying the function which results from f1 to another argument yields the inner body x plus y with x set to 1. Okay, x is 1 is what I'm thinking here, and y set to another argument. Oh, I think. Oh, it's receiving multiple arguments, right? So I need to give 1 and 2 to x and y values. If I just give 1, it will be missing y, and it's just a lambda. So yeah, I think it's that, which can now be fully evaluated. Oh, it's just been partially evaluated before, right? Let's see the next section. Attribute set argument. So let's test this first. I mean, org mode is just beautiful, right? I can test infinite scenarios and always have rapidly the result. How many files do I need to achieve this, right? Lambda here, now, and now it's being 3. Okay. So I think this video is this. I'm just showing some section of the documentation here and using org mode.